Hi, I'm Rev Myron. I'm a minister through Pathways of Light, and I've been a Course in Miracles student for 43 years. I'm going through the lessons again this year, asking Jesus for clarity, and then I write from that clarity, and that's what I'm sharing with you today. So let's get started. We're looking at lesson 306. Conflicting wishes cannot be my will. Father, your will is mine, and only that. There is no other will for me to have. Let me try to make Let me not try to make another will, for it is senseless and will cause me pain. Your will alone can bring me happiness, and only yours exists. If I would have what only you can give, I must accept your will for me and enter into peace where conflict is impossible. Your Son is one with you in being and in will, and nothing contradicts the holy truth that I remain as you created me. And with this prayer, we enter silently into a state where conflict cannot come because we join our holy will with God's in recognition that they are the same. In the two evaluations, we read, God wills you perfect happiness now. I'm aware that I have accepted a false will, the will that comes with choosing ego over the Holy Spirit. It's easy to discern the difference. God's will for me is happiness. I've seen that anger, hatred, fear, and guilt do not make me happy. So the beliefs that drive those emotions must come from the ego. This is why I'm vigilant about watching my thoughts and the beliefs that cause them. When I read the pet news and feel anger at man's inhumanity to man, I am choosing the ego's will instead of God's. This is true even if I think I have found the culprit guilty of causing this cruelty. Does this mean I would do nothing to bring about justice? If I knew someone was a murderer, I would turn him in. If I saw that legislation was causing suffering, I would vote for someone who would change that. What I would not do is vilify those who disagree with me. And if I find that I have, I will ask the Holy Spirit to correct my perception and heal my mind. In the Song of Prayer, we read this. There are decisions to make here, and they must be made, whether they be illusions or not. This world and everything to do with it is an illusion, but we have chosen to be part of it. This means there are things to do and decisions to make. We did not come here to sit it out. I try to make all decisions in union with the Holy Spirit. I can see unkindness and still choose kindness without making anyone guilty. When I witness fearful people separating themselves from others, projecting their guilt to avoid looking within, I can understand that. I've done it myself. We all judge. I judge others pretty much every day. I see that in myself, and I will not justify it by making it someone else's fault. I want my will to reflect God's will. I want to be happy, and I can't be happy at the expense of another's happiness. In A Course in Miracles, we are reminded repeatedly that we are not separate from each other. If I'm not separate from you, what I do to hurt you will hurt me. What love I give to you will be given to me. If I want to be happy, I must want you to be happy too. Therefore, if I don't care about your happiness, I must have decided on a false will, because God's will is that we be happy. If you have studied the Course for long, you've likely noticed that as forgiveness becomes consistent, it can appear as though things are getting worse rather than better. This is because the more we forgive, the clearer the mind becomes, and so we see more of our errors. This is actually a sign of success, even if it feels temporarily as if you're failing. Right now in the world, there's an opportunity to heal even more and to heal faster. So many of us are healing our minds that there's a growing momentum towards this. It feels as though the potential for awakening is greater now than ever before. The question is, will we take advantage of this? I don't want to peddle away this amazing opportunity by blaming and shaming rather than looking within for what is being triggered in me. Believe me, the temptation to see guilt outside myself is there, but I'm determined not to fall for that. Because I want to see the error, I will. Then it's the time to heal it. Once I accept the atonement for that error, my mind will be clear enough to see past my brother's sins to their innocence. I will see past the misery and unhappiness we read about every day to the peace and love that have always been there behind my projections. My healing will help facilitate the healing of others who are ready for this opportunity. Very little is asked of us. Think like him ever so slightly, and the little spark becomes a blazing light that fills your mind so that he becomes your only guest. That's a capital G guest. The Holy Spirit will bring us all to this elevated state as we're ready. We learn that this is true early in chapter 11. It is emphasized that the Holy Spirit goes with us wherever we go because he cannot leave a part of God behind. However, we will not hear him if we don't want his help. On the other hand, we don't need to make ourselves better to get his help. We just need a little willingness. In fact, he tells us in chapter 18, never attempt to overlook your guilt before you ask the Holy Spirit's help. That is his function. This is one of the ways we're told that we cannot heal our own minds. We cannot use the insane mind to bring us to sanity. When I see that I'm unhappy, I know it's time for me to talk to the Holy Spirit about what's going on in my mind. He will correct my perceptions, and with that, guilt will fall away, and peace and happiness will be all that's left. Put yourself not in charge of this, for you cannot distinguish between advance and retreat. Some of your greatest advances you have judged as failures, and some of your deepest retreats you have evaluated as success. That's from chapter 18, section 5. This is another way that we're being told to let the Holy Spirit guide and heal us. Also, he's telling us not to judge a process. We can't even tell what is an advance and what is a failure. What I want to do is take my hands off the wheel and let the Holy Spirit be in charge. He says this in chapter 18, section 5. Happy dreams come true because they are dreams, but only because they are happy. And so they must be loving. Their message is, thy will be done, and not, I want it otherwise. When I read, thy will be done, it landed in a different way for me today. I have a situation that's been up in the air for months. I keep wanting it to be resolved, and though I have given it to the Holy Spirit many times, I did so with reluctance and reservations. What I really wanted was for it to be resolved the way I wanted. Today I know that I'm done with that foolishness. Thy will be done. That is a complete request. I do truly want to be conflict free, and I know the way. I join my holy will with God's, and I do this as I forgive all thoughts and beliefs that are not in alignment with my goal. I do this for and with all my brothers and sisters. The Holy Spirit is in charge. My desire will call to him, and he will respond, telling me what is needed, and then do it for me. I've got this. As I join my will with God's, I remember that peace is not something I earn. It is what I already am. In choosing his will, I rest. In resting, I remember love, and in love, all conflict disappears. Thank you so much for joining me in this. I hope that you found it helpful. If you did, then please like it. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe. And I'll be back soon with another reading. See you then.